Michael Jenkins, thank you for inviting us to come and talk about 2013.
Well, we're delighted to have you.
It is a wonderful, wonderful season, and as we say, it has a buzz to it. People are really talking.
Well, we hope so. We've been working on that season since 2009.
Wow.
To get it ready for 2013. It's the first time in history that any city, any theater, has had 3 blockbusters in their season at the exact same time.
Let's take them in order of presentation, so we don't get our brains mixed up, my brain mixed up. Catch Me If You Can opens. Tell us about that show.
That's a wonderful show based on the film and based on the true story of a man that impersonated a police officer, a flight attendant, and a doctor, and got away with it for some time. And then the FBI chased him down. He was in prison, and eventually the FBI went to prison and took him out of prison to work for the FBI to help them solve problems of scammers. And he was with the FBI for 39 years. And that's developed into obviously a wonderful film that became a musical on Broadway, fast-paced, very fun show, but a true show. And we're bringing it to Dallas. It'll open the 2013 season.
February 12th, I see by my notes here, is when it opens, so just in time for Valentine.
That's right.
Event. And then arriving in March with her umbrella is
Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins, of a list of 88 shows that we survey our audience, it's in the top 5 every year. Since we had it originally. This will be the second and more than likely the last time we'll have Mary Poppins. So it's a wonderful family show, obviously, and the story is well known, and it's a remarkable show.
Well, I think Dallas has such a wonderful connection with that show because Ashley Brown, who was the original Mary Poppins, was here on the record, the Disney
record,
yes.
Right.
And nobody knew who she was except she had this extraordinary voice. And I remember that Mary Warner and I interviewed her, and she was lovely. And then the rest is history, as they say.
The rest is history. She's a wonderful person. In fact, she was here, and I asked her for Mary Poppins to ride on DART when DART opened at Fair Park. And she was right in the front car in full costume, and it was a fun event.
That's a neat show. I'm so glad it's coming back. And then right on the heels is Wicked.
Well, Wicked is a phenomena in itself. You know, it's totally sold out on Broadway, and this is one of the next to the last times we'll have Wicked. And it's what can I say? It's a unique, one-of-a-kind production.
Well, you know, I think it's wonderful that you have Mary Poppins, which has a female lead, and then Wicked has 2 very strong female leads, and to put them back to back like that is really extraordinary programming.
It really is, and my most favorite line in Wicked is the very last line. The very last line, where Glinda talks to Elphaba and the town people and says, "Because we knew you, because we knew you, we have all been made better." And when you see this show, I think, when you see Wicked,
yes,
you will feel better.
Well, it's a wonderful spring. I see by looking at the calendar that Mary Poppins closes on the Saturday before Easter.
That's correct.
So there will not be an Easter performance, but it will close, and then that's March 30th, and then 10 days later, Mary Poppins is in. So just give everybody time to catch.
Or Wicked is in.
I mean, yes, you're right. Wicked.
But I did not want to have a performance on a Sunday matinee or Sunday evening of Easter Sunday, and that's why we repositioned the scheduling to accommodate that. And I might tell you that a new thing this year, in addition to our new state-of-the-art sound system, is the fact that all of our shows from 2013 going forward will begin at 7:30 for the evening performances and 1:30 for the matinees.
Hear, hear. Good idea. Well, with Wicked, because it'll be here in April and then into May, the kids are still in school, and a 7:30.
That'll get them out early enough to prepare for the next day of school, et cetera. And that was one of the considerations, really.
I think that's very considerate and generous of DSM to think of the kids and to allow them the time to catch their breaths before they have to go back to school the next morning. Then in May comes Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
This is the most fun show ever, with every kind of special effect you can imagine. There's not one special effect left out. But Priscilla started as a cult film in Australia and became a musical, went to London, became a big hit. And when we saw it there, we and others decided to produce it and bring it not only to Canada, to the Prince of Wales Theatre in Toronto, but to Broadway, to the Palace Theatre, where it ran for 2 years. And then we're bringing it on tour. Now, Priscilla is not a person. Priscilla is a very unique bus. The bus costs $2.8 million, and it can do everything. Change its colors, change its sides, everything. And this is what these guys travel in across the Australian outback. One of these men is trying to go see his son. And there's a lot of redemption, and it's a wonderful story, but it's very colorful and fun. There's 933 costumes in this show. It's incredible. And great, great fun. You'll never see costumes like you'll see the costumes of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, because they are totally, they're everything from big angels, even the three characters standing together form the Sydney Opera House with their costumes. And of course there's cupcakes and all kinds of things dancing across the stage. It's great fun.
Well, I have to mention that you've invited Dance Council of North Texas back to do the Before the Show with the National Tap Dance Celebration, May 21st through the 25th. And May 25th is the day that the Congress of the United States declared as National Tap Dance Day. So, again, your timing is perfect. It really works well.
Well, you know, the Dance Council and the event here at the Music Hall is so important to us. We think of it now, as we've been doing it a number of years, as you know, as really a tradition, and we need that tradition to continue, and we need those dancers performing and exposed so that their talent can be enhanced and other people can see what they can do.
There was the first year we did it, there was a woman who said, well, where are these dancers from? And her friend said, well, they're from here. And the woman said, well, they can't be, they're too talented. And her friend said, where have you been? And then they walked off. So.
Well, you know, when I go to New York to audition for our shows, I'd say 15% of the people that come into audition are from the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Here, good. Good. All right, you've got Dancing Cupcakes in May, and then in June you go from Dancing Cupcakes to Sister Act.
That's
what
right.
A transition.
That's true. Well, Whoopi Goldberg is the producer of Sister Act, which obviously was a very successful film, and it was made into a musical in London and on Broadway. It's about a lady, a young lady that witnesses, unfortunately, a murder. And the bad people are trying to find her. And the good people hide her out in a most unlikely place, a convent. She's in with a great number of nuns, of which she's not one. And they frustrate her, and I think she frustrates them. And they all get together and form an alliance that's really quite amazing. It's a great show, and it's a fun show. If the audience has seen the film, they're going to love the show.
Perfect. And if in June, if Flashdance is here, Legwarmers can't be far behind. Is this a new production?
This is a new production. Actually, it'll appear here before it actually opens on Broadway. And it'll open on Broadway also in 2013. Okay. And obviously, it's based on a film, but it's It's about a young lady that's in Pittsburgh, and she's working in a steel mill in the daytime and dancing in the evening. And the dancing you'll see in this show will totally exhaust you just looking at it. It's phenomenal.
Before Priscilla, May 7th, ta-da, second annual DSM High School Musical Theater Awards.
Very excited about this. We began the first one this year on May 5th, and we had 30 schools, and the professional talent and the professionalism of that night was just overwhelming. I think many people, most everyone, were really surprised. A man came up to Jerry Fullenwider, who was the original donor, he and his wife Leah, to help us start the High School Musical Awards. And this lady walked up to him and put her hands upon his shoulder and said, "You have saved our family." And he said, "Well, I don't think so, but thank you. That's a little strong." He said, "No, you did, because our daughter was having trouble. My husband and I were having difficulty supervising her, and we couldn't agree on how to work with her. She was skipping school. She got a tattoo. She was not showing up at school or any of her classes. And once she got into the theater program at the high school, she really straightened up, and she was on the stage tonight, and she had tears in her eyes." And Jerry Fullenwider repeated that story to me, and I think it's one of many that we've heard that was very meaningful, that the High School Musicals Theater Awards really reach out farther than we ever expected, which is good. And if we can help one child, it's worth the effort.
Well, I think it's wonderful to make this theater and this wonderful tradition of 73 years accessible to high school students. One kid said to me, "Oh, I've been here many times, but it sure is different when you're on that stage."
That's true. That's true.
And he loved it. The boys, I think, really loved being able to ride in the vintage convertibles around
Absolutely.
to the red carpet. That was just a wonderful.
We're going to enhance and expand all of that for this next season. So there's a lot of excitement. In fact, this past Saturday we had a meeting of our judges and a meeting of the schools that have already applied. And there's a great deal of enthusiasm already. You know, the High School Musical Awards also give out these $3,000 scholarships,
Yes.
which are meaningful. And then the winners go to New York to compete nationally. And they receive, programs and presentations from actual actors on Broadway, and they're actually on a Broadway stage at the Marquis Theater on a Monday
What a
evening.
wonderful experience. And what generous scholarships. That's
And we're
that's
going
really,
to, we had 7 this year, and we're going to expand that, I think, to a minimum of 10 to 12 this next year.
Outstanding. Good. 73 years from now means 2086.
Well, I won't be around. I hope to be looking down, not looking up at what's happening here.
Well, we love to tear down buildings after a few years as cities, but great traditions of theater and music continue on, and it's wonderful that.
True. This building was built in the music hall at Fair Park was built 1925 for $250,000.
Wow.
Air conditioned in 1954 for $512,000, twice what it cost to build. And then we remodeled in the 70s for $11 million, and another $6.5 million had been spent recently in upgrades to the sound system, which is now magnificent. Carpet and paint, and redoing the seats in the theater, etc. So there's been a lot of stars across the stage here.
Well, and you're almost to your Diamond Jubilee.
Almost.
75.
Yeah,
and if in 1925, the building, the 100th anniversary of that, lots of stuff to look forward to.
That's true.
All right, let's go. I want to go back to Flashdance, because have you had auditions yet for that?
There have been auditions. There have not been selections yet.
Okay. Because, in the film, all the dance community was outraged that one person danced and another person said the lines. Can't do that.
No, that won't happen here. No, that won't happen here.
Well, and for the fair show in October of 2013,
The Lion King.
The Lion
Disney's
King
The Lion King.
is
The most successful musical theater production ever. And when Rafiki steps out on the stage and begins, and the animals start to come down the aisle, it's a magical moment that no matter how many times you've seen it or what your age is, it'll give you chill bumps. I guarantee it.
Well, I think everybody who sees this should immediately go online, go to the box office, DallasSummerMusicals.org, and order tickets.
Thank you. And you can get season tickets for as low as $125 for the entire season.
Well, you get shows that three shows that you may not be too familiar with, but three blockbusters such as Mary Poppins, Wicked, and The Lion King. What's not to love?
Well, it'll be the last time for several of the blockbusters, and I don't think the audience will want to miss them because they will long remember them when they see them.
Well, and a child who, when The Lion King was here before, they may not have been old enough to come. And
That's
the ones
true.
that have seen it will want to see it again.
Well, we're very excited about the season. We're excited about the Dance Council coming back, and we look forward to a great 2013.
Well, but next time we talk, Michael, you have to bring your log of air miles, so we can talk about you're here and then you're gone.
True, 11 million.
Really?
Just on one airline.
I don't know what to say, except maybe we should give you an umbrella like Mary Poppins.
I'd prefer an umbrella to those seats. I'll tell you.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. It's always a delight, pleasure, and an honor to see you. So thank you very much. And congratulations to the Dance Council.
Thank you. You're welcome.